Hi, I'm Adrienne with Thousandfold Lotus. In this video, I am leading you through an 18-minute Yogalates flow workout. This is a perfect workout if you only have about 20 minutes to spare and you really want to get a little body movement in. I call it Yogalates because it combines yoga flow with some Pilates intervals. This is a really well-rounded workout. The combination of yoga and Pilates is a really nice balance, and it's great to get both components in one workout routine. So I tried to make this one really convenient at just about a little under 20 minutes. And let's go ahead and get started. You can grab your mat, place it on the floor, and we'll start laying on your back with a little bit of breath work here. Begin to observe your natural breath pattern here on the mat, allowing yourself to turn inward for your practice. And then we'll start to put the hands on the side of the rib cage and bring a little more intention to the breath, expanding the ribs and exhaling, feeling the rib cage move laterally, and feel it close back in. Inhaling and exhaling here. Now we'll put the left hand on the belly and the right hand on the chest and move into a three-part breathing pattern. So we'll inhale, expand the belly, then the rib cage and the collarbones. Exhale, lower the collarbones, the rib cage, and the belly. Inhale, expand belly, rib cage, collarbones. Exhale, collarbones, rib cage, belly. Belly, rib cage, collarbones. Exhale, lower collarbones, sink the rib cage, sink the belly. Now we'll bend the knees, place the feet hip width apart, thumbs on lowest ribs, middle finger on the hip bones. Inhale, exhale, slide the rib cage down. Inhale, release obliques. Exhale, engage obliques. I'm just sliding the ribs right down towards the hips. The thumbs come closer to the middle finger. Warming up the shoulders. Inhale, draw the shoulders up by the ears. Exhale, depress. Inhale, elevate. Exhale, depress. Inhale, elevate. Exhale, depress. Inhale, elevate. Exhale. Floating the arms up. We'll protract and retract. Protract. Inhale, retract. Exhale, protract. Inhale, retract. Exhale to protract. Inhale, exhale. And now I'm going to come on up to a seated position and roll over to my hands and knees here. We want the wrists right under the shoulders and hips right over the knees whenever we find an all fours position. You can sit back into your child's pose or shell stretch and walk the hands over to the right side. That left hand's reaching over. Move to the other side of the mat. The right hand will reach over towards the left hand. Here you'll feel the right side of the back stretching. Just taking deep breaths, expanding the ribs there. Moving into all fours, and we'll start to dip the belly down, inhaling, and exhale, round up like a scared cat, letting the head fall down. Inhale, dip the belly down, exhale, up. This is cat pose. When we dip the belly down, we're going into cow. And you can start to articulate the spine, tail first, one vertebra at a time, head dropping last. Inhale, tail first, head coming up last. Exhale, tail under, one vertebra at a time. Inhale as you drop down. Finding a round back, we'll lengthen into neutral. Reach your left leg back. We're going to exhale, lift, inhale, lower. A little Pilates work here. Exhale, lift the leg, inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Again, my shoulders are right over my wrists and hips right over the knees. Pause, reach that right arm out. And then we're going to bend that back knee, reach around and grab your foot. Kick back and kick up, only if that feels right. Reach long in the limbs and bring the arm and leg down. Now we'll lift through the right leg. Inhale, lower, exhale, lift. Inhale, lower, exhale, lift. Exhale. We're engaging through the core, keeping even through the pelvis. Now we're going to reach the left arm out, find your balance, bend into that back knee, reach back, kick back and up. It's almost like our cow pose again. Yep, and then reach long, arm and leg down. Moving into thread the needle, I'm going to open up to the right side and exhale, weave under that left arm. The shoulder and the head are going to land on the mat. I'm just getting some spinal rotation here. My left hand can help push my chest open a little bit, only if that feels comfortable in your spine. Now we'll open up through the left side, weaving under the right, laying that left shoulder and head down. Using my right hand to kind of push open in the shoulders here. Always listening to your body and your rotations. Counter rotate and then bring that hand down. I'm going to walk my hands forward one palm print and find my downward facing dog. You can walk your dog, do whatever movements feel good in your very first down dog of the day. We're working the hips back towards the wall behind you and just kind of pedaling the feet here. Shift into plank and exhale, bring it back. Now this is a modified plank, so you can drop the knees down if a regular plank doesn't feel right for you right now. So we again inhale, shift forward, exhale as if your belly button pulls you back into downward facing dog. I'm going to lead with the core there. So here I'm going to lower all the way on to the stomach. We'll warm up the back for just a moment. I'm going to exhale to lift the chest, inhale to lower. My hands are stacked under the forehead for extra resistance. If that's too heavy, leave your hands down on the mat. Additionally, we exhale when we lift if you're in the beginning phases of Pilates and yoga. That helps the core fire. If you're already a seasoned practitioner, you can always inhale as you're lifting the chest up. That's where we go eventually. So we've shifted back towards our downward facing dog here. I'm going to lift that leg up. This is our right leg. We're going to exhale, lift. Now, that's how you would open the hip. Here, we're keeping them squared, so I just wanted to show you the difference there. So similar to the way we did on all fours, we're kind of doing that in our higher version here. This is my left leg lifting. Just some hip extension. Commonly, we're weaker in hip extensors these days. So we'll sweep that leg up to the ceiling and step all the way forward. Left knee lowered down. If it's available, you can start to lift the heart and the gaze to the ceiling. If it doesn't feel right yet, stay straight up and down. Now I'm going to shift back, straighten that right leg, grab my foot with my left hand. I'm trying to keep a straight spine here. Not doing a great job of it, but we do want to keep a straight spine in this position here if you can. Lifting the heart. Put the left hand down and rotate open to the right side. So we're starting to work into our spiral fascial line here. It's almost like a modified triangle in yoga. Bend that knee, tuck the left toes, find a lunge for a moment. You'll get some nice length in that left hip flexor. Holding, and then we'll step it back to downward facing dog. Now we're going to kind of flow. We're going to shift forward to a plank and chaturanga all the way down and stay here. We're going into our Pilates swimming now. So we lift arms and legs, flutter. Inhale for 5. Exhale for 5. Inhale for 5. Exhale. Notice my low back is very still, almost like I could balance a cup of water on my spine here. That's spinal stability. Now we're going to press back, round the back for a little counter flexion, and then find your downward facing dog again. We're going to go to the other leg, lift that left leg high, and exhale, step it all the way up. Drop that right knee and lift up, inhaling. If you want to move into your back bend, feel free to start to lift the heart here. Now, when I did this video originally, I skipped straightening the leg and rotating, so I had to sneak it back in by taking the clip from before. So there we go. I'm straightening that leg out. So it should be your left leg now, but I had to steal that clip, and so it's the right leg. I didn't have to, but I didn't want to skip it, and I didn't want to lose the whole video just because I missed that. So as you can see, I'm rotated this way once again. However, we'd be on the other side, so you'd want to be rotating to the left. And now we're back on track into our full lunge. Hold that for just a moment. Getting that stretch in the hip flexor. And then we're stepping up. We're going to find our chair. Sit down, sit back. I'm engaged through the core. I'm pressing through the heels of the feet here. Find your forward fold to release that. You can wiggle it out, whatever movements feel good for you. And we're finding our chair again, sitting down, sitting back. And then lowering down to the hips, I'm going to work into a half roll back here. Inhale, exhale, tuck the tail under, make a C shape with the spine as you roll back. Inhale up. Exhale to roll back. Inhale up. C curving, pulling belly button close. Reach the arms overhead as you roll all the way down. I'm going to move into a bridge here. We're going to make this more like Pilates. So we're rolling up one vertebra at a time and roll down one vertebra at a time. Exhale to roll up, articulating the spine. Inhale, stay. Exhale, sink the heart down one vertebra at a time. Inhale, exhale, roll up. Since it's Pilates version in this little section, when we roll up in our bridge, we're keeping a rib cage connection and not arching really high like you would in the yoga variation. Inhale, exhale to roll up one vertebra at a time. Inhale, stay. Lift that left leg up, lower the leg, inhale, lift. My pelvis is still, exhale, lower, inhale, lift, just in line with the other thigh, and then plant that foot down. Inhale, reach the right leg, exhale, lower, inhale, lift. Exhale, lower, inhale, lift, stable through the core and hips. As I lift, I'll then bend the knee and articulate the foot down. Roll down heart first, one vertebra at a time. I'm going to imprint, so slide the ribs down. Coming into 100 variation here. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, exhale. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, exhale, extend the leg for 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, reach that leg. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, exhale, reach, alternating legs each time. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Lower all the way down. Every time we're straightening that leg, we're zipping through the core. So let's reach long here. I'm going to roll up one vertebra at a time, reach for the toes. You can dorsiflex at the ankles and then draw those toes back. And we'll roll over the knees, finding all fours again. Shift into your downward facing dog. You can make any movements you need to make there. We'll open up the right hip. Almost kicked the mirror over on that one. So after you open that hip, step it all the way up. We'll find a higher expression. This is our crescent lunge. Now, if you want to lower that back knee, you can. We're going to straighten and bend. Exhale to straighten, inhale to bend. Exhale to straighten, inhale, bend. We're just finding a little dynamic movement there. Now the left hand plants down, open up through the right. Notice my hips are down in line with my knee and foot back there. So everything's trying to be as straight as we can. Stepping back to downward facing dog. I'm going to shift forward to a plank. Exhale, chaturanga, 90 degrees with the arms. Upward facing dog. You may lift the hips, maybe the hips stay down, wherever you are in your practice. We'll roll over. Lift the left leg high, opening that hip. Stretching to the hip flexor, and then exhale, step it all the way up. Inhale, sweeping high into your crescent. Again, feel free to drop the back knee if you need to. Exhale to straighten, and inhale, bend. Exhale, straighten that front leg, inhale, bend. Exhale, inhale, bend. Keep your core engaged here. We'll put the right hand down and open up through that left. Trying to gaze up towards the left fingertips, but if the balance is tricky here, just keep your gaze on the floor. Lowering those hips if it's available. Now we'll bring that left hand down and step back into your downward facing dog. Taking a breath here, just kind of recouping, stretching. We'll shift forward to plank, and then the left hand's down. I'm opening into a side plank. We're going up like a rainbow and back down. Up and down. So as I'm going up like this, it's almost like I'm reaching to the top of the mat, and that underside oblique ends up engaging. So we're going to find a down dog here. And we're just going to mix it up in between, do a little more extensor work. So notice now, my right leg is lifting and I have my kneecap facing outward. And then I'm going to pulse, pulse, pulse. Exhale, you'll feel the glutes there. Other leg, I'm turned out. Lift and lower. We're doing some big ones first. All the way up there, and then hold, pulse, pulse, pulse those pulses. You'll really feel those glutes. Now we're going to do the other side plank. Right hand down, open up, inhale. Exhale, rainbow shape, inhale, lower down. Lift those hips and reach the arm over the head. That makes our underside oblique cinch. You can see how that underside oblique kind of shortens, creates a lateral flexion. So we've lowered down, find your shell stretch or your child's pose, take a breather. Those side planks are a lot of work. Now I'm just going to turn over and reverse that plank work. This is called reverse plank. You're going to lift all the way up in reverse plank. Now here's the modified version. You can bend the knees and lift there. Start there, and if you're ready to move here in the full one, go for that. You can exhale, lift the leg, inhale, lower. Exhale, lift, inhale, lower. Exhale, lift, inhale, lower, and rest. Now those 4 leg lifts are challenging, so if it doesn't feel right to lift them, then don't go there. Just kind of hold that reverse plank or that modified version I showed you. We're just forward folding here for a moment, and then all the way down to the back. Scooching down so that I'm nice and even on there. All right, a little mat series here, mat Pilates. So I imprinted. Exhale, I'm rotating towards my bent knee here. So we've already done that leg extension with our 100. Now we're rotating, so I'm getting oblique rotation. Exhale, inhale, center. Exhale, inhale, center. My elbow goes in the direction of the opposite knee. Every time I reach that leg long, I'm zipping through the core into single leg stretch. So exhale, exhale, inhale, switch. Exhale, exhale. Exhale, exhale, inhale, switch. Exhale, exhale, inhale, switch. Good. That double pulse gets us a little deeper in our flexibility, and you can always grab behind the calf or the thigh, your choice. So we're just rocking sacrum to sacrum. Those get pretty tiring pretty quick. Remember, we're always engaging transversus. Now I'm moving the hip here. My leg is up. I'm doing hip circles. I have my hands on the hips there to make sure the hips are still. Now, I showed you the bent leg version, but the full version is a straight leg just like this. However, if your hip flexor is really tight, it's going to be a lot on your hip flexor. So that bent leg version is a better option for your circles if your hip flexor is grabbing really hard. So I'll show you again, the bent leg. It's almost like I have an arrow coming out of my kneecap and I'm drawing circles on the ceiling right out of my kneecap. And then if you like the straight version, go for that. And then we're going both directions. So I just switch there. Exhale, inhale, exhale. We always inhale for half and exhale for half in our Pilates. But look, the hips are totally still the whole time. Lots of core connection there. So I'm just taking a centering breath here. And then we're just gonna cool down with a little bit of stretching here at the end. So I'm gonna reach the arms up overhead. Tuck the chin, roll up 1 vertebra at a time as if I'm going over a beach ball. I'm parallel with my legs. Then I'll just dorsiflex ankles, grab the feet. I like to grab my feet because my foot fascia and calves are always really tight. So that just adds a little extra stretch. Now this is what we call mermaid position in Pilates. It's kind of like a cheerleader seat. And I'm gonna go both directions, but when I go here, my left arm's overhead, I get more stretch through the side waist. So after all those side planks and oblique work, it's a nice way to stretch out. And in Pilates, we do like to add a lot of lateral flexion here. Both Pilates and yoga do all fascial lines. That's why you feel so great when you're done with these workouts. And that's it. You guys made it. I will see you next time. Thanks so much for joining me for this workout. And if you haven't connected with me already on my social media, definitely check out the social media sites. And if you haven't signed up on the website yet, please go to www.thousandfoldlotus.com. Subscribe to the webpage because I don't want you to miss out on any of the upcoming workouts. I'll send them to your inbox as I get them up there. So thanks so much for joining me, and I'll see you for our next workout.